Hi, it's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp the Love, and it is Make It Monday. It is January the 10th, and I typically would show you all of the projects for class tonight. In fact, I'm probably going to go through them all very quickly, but I will tell you that if you like shorter versions, you can pop over to my YouTube channel on Thursday, and they will all be there individually so that you're not quite as overwhelmed. So tonight's going to be a little longer, but on Thursday you can catch the shorter versions that will be there. So that might be helpful for some of you. We do have an announcement. So I had one sale this week. So that popped us under 30,000 left. So we can open the 30,000 box. Let me pop that off of here. This is for our countdown to 1,000,000. And let me pop that out of the way. All right, so the prize tonight is the heart note cards. How timely is that, since Valentine's will be here before you know it. And there they are. These are gorgeous little note cards. They've got some gold foiling on them, and they're just cute for quick and easy little Valentine notes or thinking of you notes. So that is going to go to the one order that I have gotten in the past month, and that is Billy Morningstar. So thank you, Billy, and that will be coming in the mail to you, and I appreciate that. I will tell you, I have a drawing. So I did do the drawing, but I recorded it for you. I'm going to try something new today. Let's hope it works. There's a thing online that you can put everybody's name in. So, you know, for the countdown to 1,000,000, each month I pick a product, and I have a drawing for that product. So you can get tickets for that by placing, for every $50 in orders you place, you can get into that drawing. And I didn't have a lot of names in there for December, so the chances were good, and that was for our Stampin' Trimmer. So let me try. Just hang tight with me just a second, and I need to go here. Okay, so I'm going to play this video, and hopefully that will work for you, and you'll get to see who the winner is. You can see who the participants were on the right there. If their name was there twice, that means there were two $50 orders. And do you see the little winner is Elaine Walmer. So congratulations, Elaine. She is not on Facebook, so she will not be catching that. Let me get out of here and get back to my correct screen. So I hope that worked good. That's a really fun way to show you the drawing online, and so that you know there's no hanky-panky going on, no nepotism or whatever. Actually, what's really funny is my grandson was here yesterday, stayed overnight, and he found my tickets that I use for like my team events and whatever. And sometimes I have done my drawings that way. I also use random.org. But anyways, so he was like, can I get in the drawing? So he put his name on one of my tickets so that my next drawing, and then he didn't want to forget his brother, so he put one in for him as well. So didn't put him in this drawing, but we'll do a fun drawing with them one of these days. Don't want him to think he's left out. Okay, but I sent him home with paper pumpkin for him and one for his brother, so they should both be happy with that. All right, so have lots of fun things to show you tonight, so I'm going to get started. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. Just a reminder, so we are in the middle of Celebration right now, and our new spring mini catalog is live, so lots of good stuff that you can get. There's also a great chance to sign on. When you sign up, you get to pick 2 free stamp sets of your choice. So it's a great time to sign on, join our team, join Stampin' Up! And get the most bang for your buck. You can get discounts constantly when you sign up as a demonstrator, so it's really cool. And it's a passion of mine. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I just love the connections that I've made through Stampin' Up! So that's been very special. It also gives me a reason to stamp, and most of us don't find time for that, correct? So, yes. All right. I think that is it. So the projects that I'm showing you tonight, they will be the cards that I do at class this month. So my classes are today, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. And they're all 1 week, so I'm going to be crazy. But that gives me the rest of the month to work on other projects. So, but if you're watching at home and you're not coming to a class or not able to attend class, you can still get these projects in the mail. And when you place a minimum, I think for an online order, it has to be $45. And of course, you're going to bump it up to $50 to get a free celebration item. So any order pretty much this month, you're going to get these projects for free. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you use, I'm going to flip over here to my other screen. You want to use this hostess code that's at the top here, VDBKWF3U. That will stay on screen while I'm working, so you can write that down. Okay, so the first project that I want to show you is using this HoneyBee Home set that is actually in a it's in a suite with another home bundle. I'm going to just turn this light off here since we don't need that one. So it's in a suite with another bundle in the catalog, but they're both amazing. I'm really particularly drawn to the bees and the flowers and the die cut flowers. Sorry, my dies are sort of all over the place in there, but so what I did was I cut out the pieces. So I have this piece. Oh, let me show you the card first. This is the card that we're doing, and we're using some of this vellum paper. And some of you, I demoed this for my team, or shown this for my team. The paper is Vellum Layering Designs, and I'm using the black print, on the vellum, and that's cut 4x4. And I have these all die cut out of Whisper White, and I'm going to just pop them into my my little template here. So what I did was I laid these stamps into my piece of paper, lined them up underneath, and then just carefully placed this down. And I did a test to make sure that it stamped good. And so I'm going to go ahead and ink those. They're still inky from the test, so I do wash them before I close this up. But I'm using Memento Black, and I'm just going to stamp that. And that's pretty good, but I just want to make sure that I got this pattern is a hand-drawn pattern, so you will see areas that aren't as inky. But I'm just looking at my bee here, and I feel like I may not have gotten that wing inked very good, because it seems like let's see, that's this side, but I'm going to go ahead and ink the whole thing just in case. Actually, it looks like this flower is as well, so maybe I didn't ink them very well. Okay, that's better. Okay, and when I did my practice, I actually had the foam piece in, and this foam piece goes in here whenever you're using photopolymer, and I pulled that out, and I may have needed to stick just a few more pieces of or a piece of cardboard, so I might just do that really quickly so that I have plenty of oomph whenever I'm stamping. You shouldn't have to push terribly hard on these if you have the right height. Okay, so that's going to pop out of there, and before I close this, I'm going to I set this up so that we can put our white strip for our saying right here. And I chose a different saying than on my card. I used the Such Happy News from this set, but I figure not everybody's going to want that saying. So I pulled out this set. Actually, I pulled out two sets that we could possibly use that have nice sayings. Celebration, this is a free one you can earn, and that's got some great sayings in it. And also One Happy Family is fun. This has more on pregnancy and babies and that type of thing, but there's also Happy Birthday, Celebrating You, so some different things to use there. So I'm going to use the Celebrating You because I figured that can go for almost anything. And I should have probably, I just have a dry baby wipe. I'm just going to try to get rid of some of this black here because I didn't bring, my cleaner that I have is this one, and that doesn't work really well when you're cleaning on a Stamparatus. I do like my purple chamois for that. I just don't want that getting all over my scrap paper. This one I didn't check to see if it's lined up, so I'm hoping that's not too bad. Okay, so there we go. That's done. I will get a chamois and get that cleaned off. Okay, so now we have our pieces all stamped. Most of it's just going to be black and white. I forgot that I did color a little bit of yellow here, and I didn't bring any of that. Let me just grab that real quick. Okay, sorry about that. So I am going to just color this lightly with the light soft, yeah, the lights, so saffron, just to give the bee just a tiny bit of color. I don't want to take away from the black and white and the green. And then for the center of these flowers, you probably don't even see it, but up close you can see that I just took and added a little bit of just jade to the centers of these flowers just to give a hint of color. I don't want a lot on there because I don't want to have to color it in. I want it to be very freeing. Okay, so my other pieces are here. So I've got my base. I'm going to, looks like I got a smudge there, but I think that will cover up. Now, typically on vellum, I don't glue it down until I have everything glued on top, but I sort of know about how much space I have here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive just in the center of this to hold that down. And then I'm just creating an edge that's equal the whole way around the top and the sides. It looks like this is just a hair off on my fold. Okay, now we're ready. So you can, whoops, you can see here that I cut out my black piece from my the back of this because I didn't want to waste paper. So I'm going to go ahead and place this, which I embossed with our new Hive Beehive embossing folder. And you can decide which side you like the best. And you know what? I think I want this to be my front. So I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive here and layer that, just giving a hint of black around there to make that pop. And you can see how nice that looks. The vellum sort of cuts the jade here, and then I'm able to bring in a little bit more jade so that my white really pops out there. I know I say that like I really know what I was doing, but basically I just do it till it looks good, and then there, that's, you know, sometimes I don't like it so I don't use it, or I'll be like asking somebody, what does this need yet, because something's not quite right. Okay, so we are ready to layer, and I put the black behind here. I just wanted a little bit, so I want to show you, like this looks okay, but I wanted something behind here to break up that green a little bit, and then I just pop this over top. Okay, so I'm going to just turn both of those over. I'm going to grab my green glue, and whoa, this room is very intemperate. Actually, it's pretty cold most of the time because I'm downstairs where the wood stove is, but it seems like it doesn't come in this room well, even though most of the time the door's open. And I think that this glue does not like that. It does fine out there where it's warm. So I'm guessing it doesn't like the changes in temperature in here. All right, I have a little glue on my finger here. I'm going to put that right on the stem there. It's when you don't mind if you got inky fingers, right? Now for the bee, I'm going to add a dimensional. And it looks like I don't have any whole ones, so we'll snip some of these here. I'll keep that one. All right. And I'm just going to, And you'll see here that I got to use these gorgeous little things. These are our new, they're called brush brass butterflies. And I have always loved things like this, but usually when we have them, we don't, oh, I did open this already. So I saw somebody say to just snip off the edge so you can just slide them in and out, because, you know, opening and closing this plastic is a pain in the butt. So anyways, but what I love about these is they're completely flat. They're like, they're not even 1/32 of an inch high, I don't think. So we're just going to use 2 of those just to give a little touch of gold to our card. And then we are ready for our greeting. So now I can just slip these right back in here. And the reason I like to do that is it protects them so they don't get rubbed off or knocked off and then they get wasted. And for my tab, I'm going to just pop it into my punch here. And I can slide that right down the middle and give that a snip. I might go one more time because it's a little longer than I wanted. All right, so some more dimensionals. I'll use this piece that popped off. And one more piece here, maybe 2 more pieces. It's pretty long, so we want to make sure we have enough that it's not going to sag on us. Trying to get rid of those scraps. All right, so I'm just going to pop this right on here, right at the edge of our vellum, and voila. Whoops, that's not sticking for some reason. Oh, I forgot to peel the thing off. You probably saw that, didn't you? Thanks for joining me, guys. Make sure you leave a comment, ask me questions. I'm trying to fly through these tonight, so if I don't answer right away, I will come back and fill in the answer for you. So there's no question that's too difficult. If I don't know the answer, I will find it from somebody. Okay, so that's our card. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so our next project is using the In the Moment stamp set, and this is a set that they gave us, I believe, with our on-stage registration. Actually, this might have come from the cruise. I can't remember, but I know that as soon as Tosh saw it, she loved this set, and it is. I've seen so many really cute things with it. It is definitely a girly girl set. So I decided to use it for our card this month. And I also decided, I'm hoping I can get that you will be able to see the gorgeous gold touches on the edge here with a little bit of gold ribbon here and our gold gilded gems. And I wanted to keep it simple. Some of you love to color, some of you don't love to color, and some of you, probably like me, love to color, but you don't have time to color. So I decided to try to come up with something that was cute and quick. And the first thing that I'm going to do is show you how I took this doily, which these are new as well. You get 3 different colors, and you'll see in other projects that I'll be using the other side for white, or you can color this any color, but the 3 colors are gray, cinnamon cider, and this misty moonlight. And so I just wanted a touch of gold on it. So I took a sponge, grabbed my Versamark pad, and I just added some touches of Versamark to the edge. You're only going to see like 3/4 of the edge, so I'm not going to add too much to that, but I am going to just rub it across because I really want it to get on those edges. Now we could have easily added some of our gilded foil to that, but I didn't think about that till just now. So I'm going to put this in here and just, I can't remember where my Versamarked edge is. I'm showing you this first because I preheated the gun beforehand so that it was good and hot and ready to, so that it doesn't take so long to get it heated up when I go to emboss this. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick, and I decided, because this is going to be a long live tonight, to not show an extra tip. So, but this is my tip for tonight. If you're afraid that your surface is not stamped well enough, I should turn this off to give you the tip. If you're not sure that it's going to stick well, all you have to do is lift it up and heat it from underneath, okay? The heat will go right through the paper, and just watch closely. You can see it changing already. It's just really, and this way I'm not going to blow any of the powder off. I do this with white as well, especially if I'm using it on black, because sometimes you'll blow just a piece or two off and it will land and melt and look really messy. I see a spot right there that I missed. Okay, so there we have that. Now, I think I'm finished with this, so let me just set that aside. And we're going to take this stamp from, oh, I forgot to bring that stamp set in. Hold on, let me show it to you in the catalog, because it's really cool. And the stamp that I'm using is from the set that that bee set was with in, I'm allowed to show you the inside of this now. I'm so excited. It's really hard not doing that whenever the catalog hasn't gone live yet. There's just so much yumminess in here. Again, if you have not gotten a catalog from me, I know there were a couple that were missed or didn't get, and I've just resent those on Saturday, so you should be getting. But if you haven't gotten one, I can't find it, please holler, let me know, and I will be happy to send you a catalog. Some of you like looking at it online and some of you don't. So I'm just going to go back here to the kits, or the bundles, so you can quick at a glance find things. Well, here's the stamp set that goes with it, so I know that that's going to be on the right page. So here is the stamp. It's called Blessings of Home. It's a bundle. It has beautiful, wonderful dies, flowers, different borders and types, that type of thing. I have lots of cards with this. I will try to be posting those. I'm really bad at that. I stamp all these cards and I forget to post them. I forget where I already showed them. But anyways, so I just love this stamp, and I've done a ton with it. But again, I wanted to use it in a way that you didn't have to color. So I am using it with Night of Navy on Misty Moonlight, so that it gives just a little extra pop of color. And we are just going to create, I'm just going to set my sample here. We're just going to go around the edge. I'm going to ink this whole thing because at some point it's going to be touching all the edges. I'm going to just hold it there and give it some time for the color to just go off of my stamp. I don't want to waste a lot of ink, so every part of this stamp is gorgeous, so I don't really care which part gets stamped onto my card. So we'll just go ahead, and you want to really give nice pressure on the fold because you've got that extra fullness there, and you want to make sure that you get that whole thing. And I think one more here will do the trick. But we're not finished. We're finished with the background. I really like how that looks. But I'm going to take our piece. I punched this, or die cut it with the Stitch to Sweetly dies. And you know I love those and use those all the time. I'm going to just add a touch in the corner here before I send this off to get washed. Okay, now while I still have my navy open, I'm going to pull out this stamp, which I'm not sure. Do I have it out already? Here it is. I already have it on a block, which is yay. Very good. Now, there's only one problem. I want to keep it over here because I want to get my saying in here. So in order to do that, it might be smarter for me to go ahead and stamp my saying first. Okay, so I'm going to do that. This is all in navy. This is all a tone-on-tone card with a touch of gold. Okay, now I'm ready to stamp this, but I know that she's going to run off the edge. Let me grab my... so I'm going to take a Post-it note, and I'm just going to cover my stitching, just almost cover my stitching. I just don't want the stamp to go off the edge because I think it'll look tacky on the scallop. So again, let me ink this. And now I'm ready to stamp. And I want to make sure I don't go down here too far either. It's a little hard to see without sticking my head in the camera. There we go. The other thing that worked out good is I'm not a wine drinker. I'm not a proponent of wine drinking, so that could be sparkling grape juice or something, because I do love that. But it was too much to fit on here, so that actually cut the whole thing off. So hey, that worked out really good, because I wouldn't send a card like that. All right, so one other thing that we want to do, let me just close. Well, actually, we're going to need a little bit of this, and it looks like there's some fuzz on this pad for some reason. I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze because I want some ink in the most of what we're going to do with our water painter. I'm going to just give this a squeeze to make sure that the brush is wet. And I always use my hand. You can see that's way too much water. It's a puddle. So I'm going to just wipe that on scrap paper to get rid of some of it. And now I can see that I can feel that it's wet. I can see it, but it's not a puddle. So that's perfect. And I'm just going to go over this, and I'm just going to blend this color a little. I don't want it to look muddy, but I do want this to have a little bit more color. So I'm just going over the lines. Because our ink is a water-based ink, and it's dye-based, it will run when you wet it. So I don't want to do that on her arm. I don't think she has a blue arm. Okay, now I'm going to just do her hair here really quick. I know she probably doesn't have blue hair, but you know, she might. She might have colored it blue. But I definitely want it to look full, so she has a full head of hair. Now for the hat, I want it to be sort of a focal point, so I'm going to come in here and grab a little bit of ink on my pad, and I'm actually going to use that instead of blending as much, because I really want it to have plenty of ink. Okay, so I'm going to bring that in here with a little extra color rather than just trying to spread it with the water. The problem is if you try to get too much color off of your design, it looks messy, it looks faded, and it just does not look good. So if you ever want a lot more color than you're getting or than the design can give you, don't be afraid to go in and grab some from your pad and use that. I'm going to get a little more shading down here under the rim, or on the rim, under the head part. Okay, so pretty quick and easy. If you want to do some in the flowers, you can. I think I did a little bit in the center, but that's absolutely not necessary if you don't want to mess with those. So you just wipe the tip off when you're finished so that if somebody wants to go in another color, they can. All right, so there's that. Now we're just ready to layer everything. Let me just get this closed here so that I don't make a mess. And I saw ribbon pieces. So this is a pretty simple card. I don't know what I did with my card base. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this all stuck up. And I'm going to put lots of adhesive on here. You know, I typically don't use this much, but I know that I'm going to have ribbon coming out there. So I'm going to make sure that that's got lots of glue on it. And the other thing is, this is going to be sticking down here. I'm just going to sort of lay it on here to sort of see how, if that's going to look good. Make sure I got as much of the gold showing as possible. And now I'm going to go ahead and stick that to there. And now I can come in here and add just a little more adhesive on the doily, now that I know where I want that. So I'm going to stick this side down. I'm going to just leave this side loose a minute. And I'm going to take a glue dot. So I have one piece that's about 3.5 inches and one that's about 1.5 inches. So the navy one, or the denim one, I'm going to fold in half. So I'm going to just get a glue dot on here. Of course, it's not going to want to come off because I'm holding it in the air, so that I can just fold them in half like that. I want a little tail coming out. And let me go ahead and stick this on here as well. You know this isn't going to work when you want it to on camera, right? That's when you take your pick tool and just take the glue dot and tell it where it needs to go. So I'm going to position that right between these two, like so. And then I'm going to take one more glue dot because I know I left one here. I just want to make sure that this sticks good. You know, I put plenty of adhesive on the paper, but I want to make sure. I'm still not sure I should have put that over quite so far. Let me see if I stuck that down too hard. I'm going to scoot this over just a little. There we go. Need just a little more space to put our ribbon in here. I want it to show good. Okay. There we go. All right, almost finished. We're just going to add a touch of our gold. Yeah, I've got these all over the place in my container. And we're going to pop on one or two. Really doesn't need a lot. We've got plenty of gold going on, and looks like I only put one here. You can certainly add another if you like more bling on your card. So that's our second card. I hope you enjoyed that. I just love the touch of gold with navy. So pretty. All right, so third card coming up. Okay, my third project for January's class is this really pretty petal pink card. And it is using our celebration set, Friendly Hello, that comes with, it is free when you purchase $100. Comes with this and a whole pack of 12 by 12 designer paper that's absolutely gorgeous. And here's one of them. Let me just show you the piece. Ooh, by itself I just dropped a butterfly. So just beautiful colors. It is so much fun to play with. And I do have some samples to show you at the end. Okay, so the pieces that I have, we are using Memento Black and Petal Pink ink. And what I did, let me just start with the base of the card. Let me scoot this over here. So I I scored a 12 by 12 piece. So picture this plus another piece here. So on the 11-inch side, we scored it at 5.5, so that we had our card folded in half. And then I took those and I cut 2 3/4 inches off of one end. All right, picture that. And then I took and I cut it in half at 4.5. I should have taken a whole piece to show you that. So this piece ends up being 4 1/4 inches. Did I say 4.5? 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 plus 2 3/4. That would be 7 8 1/4. I think that's right. Okay, so but the piece that we cut off, we're going to use, now you're going to see that this is a tiny bit smaller. I did cut this down. Reason being, I wanted to layer this with some black behind it, okay? In order to not waste paper, if I cut this out of an 8.5 by or 4 1/4 inch piece, I can get 4 pieces on one sheet. I mean, on one just side. I can get 8 pieces per sheet. Okay, so I definitely wanted to maximize that. So this one is the size that I would have cut off here. So therefore I cut the piece that was cut off down just a hair so that I could layer it on here. And you notice there's some things missing behind here. And I really didn't think it through because you're going to see a butterfly behind here. But you know what? That's okay. I think that I think I have a fun thing to do with that. Okay, so then I cut a piece of 2.5 by 4-inch piece of designer paper to go on this little piece here. Let's go ahead and pop that in place. You can see the back side of it is a fresh freesia design. So definitely does not go with the card we're working on today. Very pretty, but definitely doesn't go with this. So that's okay that we're covering that up completely. Okay, so now let's go ahead and stamp the front of this. Let me grab my scrap paper here. We are going to use this little image right here with the leaves, and we're just going to stamp a few of those around. Get my sample in here so I can see what I'm doing. So I just basically stamped it down. Helps if you stamp it completely. Stamped it down the edge where my ribbon is going to tie. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead. I also stamped it here around the edge where this piece is going to go here. So you're not going to see anything there. I'm going to just stamp it around this edge, starting here. And I'm just moving it around so that it always looks different. I don't want it, and I'm going off the edge as well. That's really important when you are doing something like this. You have to go off the edge. Otherwise, it's going to have to be exactly straight, and you're going to have to do it exactly the same. And I don't want to put that pressure on myself. All right, there's one more little piece with this, and I'm going to go ahead and just do this on the corner of my, again, Stitch So Sweetly dies. And I'm finished with this color, so let me close that. While we've got this on here, let's go ahead and stamp the Hello Friend from this in Memento Black. And I do have that on my block here already. It's a nice solid stamp. I am going to grab my stamping mat because it's a very large photopolymer stamp and you could have very bad effects with that if you don't stamp on something that gives just a little. I've got paper flying everywhere, don't I? I think I just re-inked this pad, so it's very juicy. I'm going to try stamping that on my scrap paper first, just because when you re-ink a pad, sometimes I tried to be really careful, and I took like our square, where do I have that? I took our square blocks from like our kits, and I spread the ink really well with the edge of that. There seems to be, I don't know what I got on here. I'm worried that I've been using essential oils a lot, and the oil that I mix with them, sometimes I'm not too careful where that is on my skin when I go to stamp, and I'm wondering if I got some of that on my block. For some reason, it does not want to ink up well. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a second to pop off of there. Ta-da! That doesn't look terrible. Just couldn't get that O inked up for some reason. I'm going to clean this good and make sure that there's no residue on that. Now, before I close that pad, I do want to put a saying inside of here, which will be covered up with our piece from the outside. And this is also from this set, and it says, "Hope you have the best birthday." So we'll go ahead and put that right here. Okay. All right, now we're finished with the ink. Now, I'm not sure if you know how to tie. I don't know who knows how to tie using a ribbon tire or a fork. But I decided on my sample, I actually tied this in a bow. But I know my customers hate to do that. And you have to have, you really have to have help sometimes if you don't tie a lot, because you have to keep it tight enough so it doesn't fall off and all of that. So I find that tying with this is a little bit easier, and then we can just tack this down and you've got your perfect little bow. So let me just show you really quick how to do that. I will pull my ribbon tire out here. If you do this with a fork or a friend holding two pencils or whatever, you can make it work if you don't have this. I've actually done it on my fingers before. If you just cross it, it's a little harder because my fingers are fat. It's harder for me. So you cross it, and you can see that I have one tail longer than the other. Hopefully you can see that. And the top one has to come down around, and I bring it back up around, and then I just tie a square knot right here. So I'm just bringing, so I made a little hole there, and I'm just bringing that through, and I'm keeping it square, keeping it nice. Everything's staying the same direction, and I just slide that off, and then I have this perfect little bow tied and ready to go. And then all I have to do, let me get rid of some of this stuff, is just add some glue on the back, and it's good to go. And then I always add a little extra on top. And then I need to decide which of these butterflies I want to go there. Okay, looks like I got that off just a tad. Let me see if I can scoot that a little. You know, I double stuck it. That was really smart before checking it. Okay, there we go. All right, now when I put this down, I want to make sure that I only put adhesive to here. So I'm going to center it first. I want to center it the whole way around here. And then I will turn this over and just put adhesive across that area. But I'm going to put lots of adhesive because it's a movable piece, and I don't want it to slip or not hold for any reason. Looks like I went over the edge a little bit there. All right, there we go. That's done. And then I have my little one of my butterflies cut out. I need my take your pick tool here. There's a couple pieces that I forgot to take out before I brought this in here. Sorry about that. When I cut these for you for class, I don't take the time to pull out every little piece, but it is die cut for you, and I do a lot of die cutting for my classes. So I figure that taking out the shads is not that painful for somebody to do. So otherwise I wouldn't be able to take the time to cut out all the pieces that we do. Okay, so now we're ready to add this piece. Let me go ahead and stick that on, and then we'll put our butterfly down. Now you see I'm not putting as much glue in here because we've already got this glued down. This is not moving. This white piece is just going to stick there, and it's not moving. It's this piece that's movable. So this little guy is going to get glued down, and I'm just going to glue his body. He does have a little tear right here, and that's why I chose to use this one for mine, because he just needs his wing repaired a little. And I think we did that. And then I'm just going to pop this right here, or wherever you want to put it on your card. And we're almost finished. We'll add a little bit of bling. I'm going to use our iridescent rhinestones, and they are new to this catalog, so really pretty. So let's grab one of the big ones. I got to get it out of this section here. And a medium one, and maybe a tiny one. I'll put it on the eye like I had it there. Okay, so there's our card. I know I made it look hard because I took so much time to give you so much detail, but it really is quick and easy. I hope that you understood my cutting idea there. So basically it's just saving yourself some paper by using the piece you cut off here for the front. But I did have to cut it down just a little bit. So let me go ahead and I will show you some of the samples that I have with these sets. And then I will let you go. Just a little reminder, don't forget there's the hostess code at the top, so that if you would like to place an order to get these projects, you want to use that code so I know that you want these free projects and that you want to be entered into the drawing for the free item this month, which, oh, I think I forgot to tell you what that was. Let me pull it out here. Oh, sorry. It is a container to store all of your blocks. Okay, it's a storage container for all of your blocks. So that is my giveaway for January. Okay, because you stuck with me to the end, I promised that I would show you more samples with these sets. So I first want to introduce the Blessings of Home Bundle and a couple of cards that this one, if you're on my team and you're coming to my event on Saturday, you might see that one again. This one I did with our shimmer white paper, and I did a video on this one, I think, as a sneak peek, but I love that card. I love those colors. These I was just playing with this past week or two, and just doing some coloring with blends. This is the paper that goes with this bundle. Another one that I cased, and I think the colors are just stunning. This is crumb cake and pale papaya, and a little bit of soft suede in there. And then here's the Misty Moonlight with the designer paper. So some fun cards with that set. And then this one, I just have a couple. Sorry, that glare's terrible, right? All right, so for this one, I have this one that I got from, I think it was from Carol Warnfeld sent me this one. Really beautiful coloring, very simple lines. And I love the layering and the colors of this card. And then this one, Tosh had colored this little guy in, and I had this white piece laying around since scrapbook weekend and decided to turn that into a card and really highlight some of the papers. But I also pulled out some paper. This is from our peach set. These both are from the peach set that I thought went really well with the colors in her, with her coloring. And I'm trying to think if this one, oh, this one is from Sweet Silhouettes, I think it's called. So I pulled out some different designer papers. I just went through and looked for certain colors, and I was able to find those, make little tags for that. And then with this set that we did, I just have two more cards to show because I demoed this before and I showed some other things, but this is one that I did, I think after my video with this set. And this is that same beehive embossing folder in circles, and I sponged sponge color on with our blending brushes. And then this one is one that you will also see this weekend if you were on my team and coming to this event. And lots of really metallic color there, just highlighting our cute little bee ornaments. And last but not least, for the Friendly Hello set, I have a few cards that I did for Connie's event, and you'll see a lot of the designer papers coming out here. I really wanted to show you the card with the little bird on it. He's so adorable. And I did a little box with some of the flowers. Some of you have seen these before. This is some of the designer paper that you could stamp on, so I stamped the flowers, these flowers and leaves on here. And then this one with the purples. You saw this purple in the back of the paper that we use. So, okay, so hopefully that's helpful and gives you some more ideas that you can use with those sets. And happy stamping, everybody. Have a great week. I will see